Okay, Matrix. Let's get some Matrix history. I did not see this movie in theaters. I saw this at a friend's house. My friend's dad was watching it, and I only got the chance to... The scene that I walked in on, which was perfect, was the lobby scene with the gunfight. And I was like, what is this awesome piece of awesomeness that I'm seeing out of my eyes right now? Because I was only 12 when it came out, you know? I was 12. And he was like, oh, it's called The Matrix. I thought it was an action movie. I didn't know what it was. I did not get into The Matrix until the sequel came out in 03. Because I
didn't really get into The Matrix till like Algebra 3.
Algebra 3?
But I mean...
Can I get a beer?
That was a math joke, by the way. For you smart losers, I guess.
Algebra 3, that's called pre-calculus.
No, it's not.
But I did not get into this movie a lot until the sequel came out. But I did get into a lot with the Animatrix, which is amazing.
See, I watched this in theaters, and I was already hooked. I mean, I wanted to like get wires and do all this shit that they
right?
do. I mean, the greatest part though is when you did it in the pool. Like when you could literally run up on the wall in the pool.
Yeah, when you thought you were cool.
I did that all the time.
Yeah, so did I.
I can totally see you doing that too.
Yeah, well,
it was 99.
Yeah. Woodstock was going on. People were raping people there. It was a good time. You know, Intern Lisa or Butterfly. You guys have any history of this movie?
I don't remember the first time I saw this.
I don't remember the first time I saw it either.
I can guarantee you, though, I was living at my mom's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably saw it. My mom and sister are like really into this, like the three movies. Yeah, so I don't know. They were like, "Oh, this movie's awesome. Watch it," and I thought it was pretty sweet too.
I remember when it first came out. It was like
huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah. I mean, this was the Japanese choreography brought to America for once.
Well, they did actually. I was watching the special features of the film, and they brought one of the best Japanese fight choreographers. And it wasn't Japanese; it was Chinese.
Oh, was it? All right.
They brought him over with this school, and none of them spoke English. So they had to teach everybody. And the movie started filming in 98. They were learning how to do all this stuff in 97. They were a year of training. And they were trained in the special features. They said they were trained for 6 days a week.
One of the little trivia effects I don't think I actually put up, but they were in choreography. They went 2 months over what they're supposed to be at. So, I mean, they went for a long time just learning, like, all the choreographs and all that stuff.
You guys want to get into the plot?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So computer programmer Thomas Anderson, played by Keanu Reeves, is secretly a hacker known as Neo. He is restless, eager, and driven to learn the meaning of what are you typing? Cryptic references known as the Matrix appear on his computer. A female hacker named Trinity, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, confirms that a man named Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, can help him. However, 3 sinister agents, led by Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving, arrest Neo and attempt to prevent him from collaborating with Morpheus. Neo meets up with Morpheus and agrees to follow him by swallowing an offered red pill. Neo abruptly awakens in a liquefied vessel connected along with thousands of other people in an elaborate electrical structure. He is rescued by Morpheus and brought aboard a levitating ship called the Nebuchadnezzar. A lot of stuff we got to hit.
Pretty much the first scene we have is Carrie-Anne Moss, Trinity, with the most, I think, one of the biggest famous scenes other than dodging bullets is where she's up in the air, about to kick, and does a 360.
Okay, this is my issue with this. I've seen this 1,000 times, and I saw it last night with Gina, and I was like, I'm not impressed. Because it felt stupid. It felt, okay, I guess one of the biggest complaints with this movie is that a lot of special effects are in here just because they thought they could do it. And an issue with that is that you look at Terminator 2, which was made in 91, and the special effects still look amazing 10 times better today. I watched this movie last night. The effects seem dated.
I don't think so. I mean, I think they were experimenting with the things. I mean, they won the Oscar for Best Visual Effects.
You also have to figure, too, the movie's 13 years old. You're comparing the visual, like, whether you know it or not, you're comparing the visual effects that they can do today to what they could.
No, I was comparing it to 1991 and Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Well,
you watch Terminator 2, the effects are 10 times better.
But this also comes from the director of Avatar.
True. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I see a need for bullet time when they do it, and I see a need for some other things. Like the one thing I don't like is the slow motion fire and the lobby scenes. I'll get into that when we get to that. But there was no need for to do the slow mo rope thing, you know, with her kicking the cop. Just be like, this is cool, we can do it.
I think they did.
The effect of the time.
I think they did it for a purpose because they I mean, you always get first. It's the big bang of the movie to get you automatically into the movie.
Right? Yeah.
They did something that you knew you were going to get for the rest of the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, it's smart. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense.
To me, I mean, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and like Hero are visually amazing to watch. This is the same thing, but with a story.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon doesn't, but it's, it's harder to tell when it's a lot of action.
Yeah.
What is iMesh?
I don't know. It's something I was trying to get for the
because it's porn
download
essentially.
thing. No, it's not.
Because I had a porn.
It's music.
Oh, it's music. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't you love it? You know what's funny? We've been doing this for 4 years and we're still not professional. So.
Jordan, I don't think you could ever be professional.
I am.
Well, I open pictures when it comes to podcasts.
Well,
That's the podcast.
It's a podcast. We're supposed to have fun and be loose and sweat in this ungodly heat box.
Why the fuck did you make the comment that you're still not professional if you're not supposed to be?
You know what? Fuck you, Butterfly, because you know what? The Trinity thing is still gay, okay?
Okay, I'm just
saying.
You on that, but I'm just saying.
I wonder if one of our friends that we knew from 2 years ago was in this scene. I was looking for him, but I couldn't find him. So...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So Trinity happens, and of course we get this awesome, rooftop thing. We don't know what it is. Now, I really did try to say to myself when I was watching it last night, I have not seen this movie. I've not seen this. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's get engulfed.
Slate,
let's engulf. Yeah. And, there's so many cool ideas that they could have gone with. They didn't, and they went with a better idea, of course. But there's so many things like, what is the Matrix, and is this actually real or not? And would it have been interesting if Morpheus was a bad guy and the agents were good guys?
See, that's honestly when I rewatched this today.
That's what it seemed like.
I was like, okay, yeah, granted there's Sentinels and the robots and stuff like that, but the humans are trying to screw up what the robots are trying to keep humans in this world.
Yeah.
And because they're essentially bred just to create electricity and stuff like that. So, I mean, honestly, I was looking at the fact that it's like, they could have been the good guys. It could have been
and they made the point that,
way.
at the end, that, humans are just, a disease, basically, like a virus. And they destroy everything, they just multiply and destroy. So, they could be the good guys, technically.
They could be, yeah.
Well, after seeing the Animatrix, I don't know if anybody else has seen it.
No, I haven't.
If anybody else has seen the Animatrix, it's amazing. There is 6 short stories into one feature film, and they're all done by Japanese anime, which I don't like. Japanese anime. But there's one story called The Resistant. That's called The Second Resistance, Part 1 and Part 2. And it's the origins of how it all happened.
So pretty much Zion, essentially.
No.
Oh, it didn't have anything to do with Zion?
Way before. This is pretty much the story, and that's why I want to tell you for this movie. This is the prequel before The Matrix, okay? In the year 2059, a scientist develops AI out of human beings, kind of like iRobot. Looks like an iRobot, right? And the robots that look like humans are designed to be slaves. Humans become fat and lazy, and pretty much, like in WALL-E, the humans, pretty much the robots drive the cars, are the waiters at restaurants, are every single job. Every job is now a machine, is a robot. Eventually what happens is that, and there's one law, that a robot cannot kill a human. There is no law that says a human cannot kill a robot. This is actually why I'm telling you guys this story, because I actually side for the machines this entire series. So what happens is that a really rich guy was going to kill his robot. The robot, out of self-defense, killed him, the family pet, and destroyed the detonation button. The robot goes on trial, and the government says, you're wrong, we're going to kill you. Kill the robot. Then we have pretty much an uprising. Robots start fighting against humans. Robots don't want to be classified as, like robots. They put human skin on. And then there's rapings going on. Humans rape robots. Robots rape humans. It's this big, huge ordeal. And eventually what happens is that the United Nations exiled the robots to their own city in the Middle East called...
Afghanistan.
called 1-0. It's their mega city. That's where Sentinels were built. And 01 became the biggest export of goods throughout the whole entire world because they made it for cheap. Then all of a sudden, the humans said, you know what? You're taking all the money from us. The economy's going to shit. This is the end of the story, essentially. This is what happens in the Animatrix. So what we're going to do is we're going to do something called Project Dark Shadow or Dark Star, something like that, where the humans block out the sun because that's the source of energy. Robots figure out that they don't need the sun. They need humans for energy. So then the humans have a big, huge world war with the
Sentinels.
Well, not Sentinels. Just with regular-looking robots. There's tons of nuclear bombs. The machines eventually win, and the humans go underground, and they build Zion. Now, the story of the One. The One says, we can hack into the Matrix they create. The One creates Zion, and after the One dies of old age, it says that the One will come back.
Yeah.
Hence, Neo.
Jesus.
Jesus. Which is, we're all about Jesus. Sorry, I talked forever, but if you guys haven't checked out the Animatrix, check it out.
That puts it together, honestly. Because, I mean, even in that one scene when Lawrence Fishburne's talking to Neo after he passed out, that makes a lot more sense, honestly.
It's great, and I actually side with the Marine. Well, I keep on saying Marines with the machines because the machines just wanted to. I mean, one of the greatest lines in the Animatrix was that the machine that was on trial says, "I just don't want to die." And like humans just kill them because we think of them as slaves. They're nothing other than bred to do what we're supposed to do. So I go with them. But going back to this movie, do I like the visual effects so far? I don't think there's a need yet. I think it's a gimmick. But it's a gimmick to get me into the film.
I don't think there was much visual effects in the beginning, though.
Well, the whole Trinity thing was nothing but visual. I mean, her running, jumping.
I think that was more wires than anything.
It's still a visual effect. Just because it's not digital doesn't mean it's not visual.
Right.
I mean, I think it was just there to get people going into the theater, because honestly, 99, we haven't seen anything like this. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Now, we get introduced to Neo, Keanu Reeves' character, and he's a hacker. One, since Keanu Reeves who he is now, I just can't help but laugh.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, you're not a hacker, knock it off. And of course, Neo is one, all jumbled up together.
An anagram. We all know that. That's one of the trivia facts. Thank you very much for spoiling that.
No problem. We get an Alice in Wonderland reference where it says, "Wake up, Neo, follow the White Rabbit."
Yep.
And then we go to a club and we get a lot of Rob Zombie music.
Which is awesome.
Right?
I love Dragula.
Yep.
Gina was like, "Who is this?" I was like, "It's Rob Zombie." She goes, "He's a musician?" I'm like, "Yeah, he seems the same birthday as me. Duh, January 12th. Hello." Idiot. So, he meets Trinity. Now, here's the issue, is that this little thing says that Trinity was a hacker. So, he says to her, though, Neo says to her, Trinity, the Trinity that hacked something. So are we saying, well, not are we saying, but is she saying that before she was jacked out of the Matrix, she was Trinity that was a hacker?
Yeah, I mean, essentially all these are computer hackers. I mean, that's why, you know, the One brought these people out of it. Because they can manipulate the Matrix, which is a computer program, and you know all these hackers can do all this stuff because that's their skill.
Okay.
Because if they brought random Joe Schmo, it's like you're in the Matrix.
You just want to get it all.
You have to figure out how to hack. By the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're saying that Trinity was a part of the Matrix because she does have things, so she was not born in the real world.
Yeah.
And he heard about her because of that. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So, then we get a scene that I thought that was fun, where he goes to work, he gets yelled at by his boss, and he's so blah. He's such a bad actor.
Not in this. I don't. Honestly, he is a bad actor. He's a blah actor, but that blah acting couldn't have been better than in this movie.
Do you guys know who was really supposed to be a part of it?
There was a couple of people that were up. They wanted to have Nicolas Cage. They wanted to have Will Smith, who denied it, to do Wild Wild West because he says he wasn't prepared enough as an actor to do this movie. They also had Warner Brothers said, "Okay, we'll let you do this movie, but you got to also consider Brad Pitt and Val Kilmer to be Neo."
Brad Pitt. Okay, there are certain parts that famous people are born to play, and honestly, I can't see. I mean, when you tell me Keanu Reeves, I don't see him in Cold Reaction. I don't see him in Bill and Ted. I'm sorry, I don't. I see him as Neo in the Matrix because he is Neo. I mean, Brad Pitt, great actor. Could he have sold it?
Brad Pitt is Tyler Durden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This came out 2 years before that. I mean, Fight Club came out 2 years before.
Fight Club came out in 99.
97.
99.
Look it up. 97. Because 95 was the game.
You want to bet $2?
Yes.
Okay.